All right, good morning. Today you're going to learn that fantasy readers, your first task is to figure out not just where your story happens, but what kind of place it is. Now, in a typical realistic fiction story, you don't have to figure out what kind of place it is because those stories are set in the rules that govern our own lives, right? Regular Earth, school. In a fantasy story, we have to figure out where this place is and what kind of place it is. There's going to be some things that are fantastic in it. Magic, different times, different planets, different moons. Maybe gravity is different. I don't know. You have to figure that out first so you can figure out your interpretation of the story. So here's just some examples right now of what types of stories you might get. There might be some medieval world, like knights, swords, horses, like in The Lord of the Rings or the Chronicles of Narnia. Right? There could be a futuristic world full of reminders of this world, but different and often trouble, like the Hunger Games, or like I referenced in our last video, the Red Queen series, which is what I'm reading right now. Or it could be an ordinary world, blending the world that we know with magical elements, like Harry Potter, right? In Harry Potter, Harry lives with muggles or the regular human beings, and everything is normal until he goes to Hogwarts, or in the shadows, you would see different magical elements in there. So, from the very first moment you begin reading, you're going to be alert from details about what kind of place you encounter in the story you're reading. So as you read your chapter book, you're going to want to be paying attention to what kind of place that you are entering and your characters are experiencing. We're going to try this. We're going to look at The Paper Bag Princess. If we look at the front cover and back cover and read the opening line and quickly scan through and looking at the pictures, what can we infer about the setting of the story? So I actually have a digital copy of that, so let's just take a quick little peek at this book. All right, well, here you go. Let's look at this right here. Here's the cover of The Paper Bag Princess. By the way, if you've never read this book, great book. Let's take a look at what else is here. Scroll down. All right, so you can see here's the first picture that's in the book right here. You're seeing what? The cover had a dragon on it. Now we're looking at people with crowns. The background made of stone. We're thinking castle. Here's the back cover of it right now too. Okay, so again, dragon, fire-breathing dragon, right? What are you thinking about when you see this? You're thinking that this is a medieval story, all right? Medieval, knights, dragons, things like that, castles, kings, queens, right? And that's true. This is what this story is about. So we have to take our knowledge from what we know of stories like that. You know, what other stories have you read? What movies or TV shows have you seen that take place in medieval times, right? And apply that. That's going to be the kind of rules that are in this fantasy story. Okay, and as you read your story and you research the setting of your story, you want to use the cover, the blurb in the inside or on the back, or add all the details as you read your story. What kind of place is this? All right, it's very important that you're able to explain what kind of story you're going to be reading. All right. Many times books will have more than one setting, and that is true in the book that you are currently reading, in the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That is going to have more than one setting, and even in chapters 1 and 2, you'll notice that right away. The final thing I want to leave you with is this thought. All right. Who has the power in your text, and how do you know? All right. You might not catch that in chapter number 1, but you'll see in chapter 2, it is clearly obvious who has the power in your text and what this story is going to be about, or at least one of the major plot lines as you read your story. So think about your setting, think about the power, and enjoy your reading.